Hello, I am playing Mothmen, 1966. It came out on Thursday. Wait, when's wait? I can't remember when it came out. Uh, came out on the 13th. I can't remember what that was. Wednesday. Yeah. All right. Let's do settings. Turn. Don't really play these types of games. If this is what I'm trying to think of. New game. Let's go. Prelog. Um, there's three characters, and I can only play Halt. Okay. Three red and five black in the discard pile. Of the six cards face up the counter, two are red and four are black. So five red in all and nine black. You have no more moves. So you have to bet now. Red? With so many black cards drawn, it feels natural to choose red. Numbers should go on your side. Even though you've already chosen, you decided to stay away from the counter. You can't bear losing again. You think of your grandma, Elsie, trying to win at solitaire for over 60 years. You take a deep breath and keep sweeping. Elsie has been paralyzed from the waist down since she was 21. Your mom was only 2 months old. The winter Elsie taught you to play salt. Does that say winter? Your parents and sister have been dead for almost a year, and you already began to forget their faces. Although you cook for her, do her laundry, bathe, and even dress her, it still feels like she's the only one taking care of you. You close your eyes and almost feel Elsie stroking your hair. You're 11 years old again, kneeling next to her bed, crying your heart out. Suddenly the bell rings and you feel an invincible force trying to drag you into the present. New game hype, yep. I I thought it was gonna be one of those games like or Rakatala games or Isasoft games where it's like a story. But I don't think this is it though. Let's see. I'm gonna do two at once all the time. Keep your eyes closed. You decide to stay a few more seconds at the edge of your grandma's bed, her fingers running through your hair, pushing away the images that haunt you. You hear the bell a second time, and then a third. Now you know it can't be a customer. Those fucking kids. How's it going, Ima? This is Mothmen, 1966. It came out. It came out yesterday. It's on sale for I forgot how much it was. It's on sale for 8.09. 90 cents off. That's funny. I've never seen that before. Those fucking kids? Yeah, that's your Twitter header. You don't know what comes you don't know what comes over you, but you yell some things at them that you're so ashamed to remember. That's funny. You justify yourself thinking that you might be the ones who got into your garage that night and stole some parts off the replica machine gun you're building. You won't let anyone mess with your project. The women's the what? Steam machine gun is a jewel of your collection. The kids yell at you, you old freak, and laugh, sheltered by the distance. Deep down, you know that it can't be them. How would they know which parts of the machine gun were worth stealing? Old freak. Anyway, that guard dog's being brought over in a few days, and you'll be able to stop worrying. I'm gonna check the hose. You think about what someone told you at the bar, what replacing the hose with a thicker one so that it could only be activated by the weight of the car. And what happens if the kids jump with their bikes and land on top of the hose with one of the wheels, you asked. Kids are always going to find some ways to bust your balls, they replied. You drove by my house. Oh, jeez. You try to calm down. You look at the shells and think of the solitaire your grandma taught you. Your grandma always said that everyone has their place in the world, and that people keep dancing around it without ever reaching it. To win the solitaire, you have to stop dancing. You know that the chance of winning are incredibly low, almost zero. You can't bring yourself to turn over the next card and decide to start sorting the shells instead. Doing simple jobs builds up your self-confidence. That's a lot of emotes, however. Hola, Tiger. How's it going? You're trying to get 5 wins in a row. Yeah. And provides you some illusion of control. I'm gonna do the lower. I know I was gonna do the lower ones. Bottle. Replace lower shelf. Empty. Check shells. The shells aren't sorted yet. Oh, jeez. A box. Can? Place for... I don't know what the hell I'm doing. A can. Oh my god. Empty. Check shells. The shells aren't sorted yet. Oh, come on. Am I the Mothman? Yeah, sure. Do I gotta go, is that a can right there? A can. Oh no. I gotta get the box. No, I don't want to do that. Oh my god. Lower shelf. A can. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Check shelves. The shelves aren't sorted yet. Oh, jeez. Are you the Mothman? Grab something from the upper shelf. Yes. The box. Grab something on the shelf. Put the box right there. Damn it. The bottle. There we go. And put this something. Whoops. There. All sorted. Good. One type of product on each shelf. Ooh, my first achievement. Illusion of control. Sort shelves. That's a nice looking car there. You scratch your head. This time, sorting the shelves doesn't help. You feel the same urgency as before, and you can't think of anything else. Who is Richard Gere? What? You don't know who Richard Gere is? Is the card going to be red? You need to do it. You need to do it be red. Suddenly the air seems heavy and you can't find a bit difficult. And you can't find it a bit difficult to breathe. Oh. Three men in black are staring at you. Through the window you see a black Cadillac by the pump. Yes. You wish you'd ask them how they got into the station without you hearing that door open. Or how they left the car without the bell ringing. But that trembling, yes, was the only thing you managed to utter. The moose. Here comes the MIB, the men in black. Halt. The moose. After a few seconds of not receiving any response, you decide to break the silence. Ask them what's going on with the moose. You bought a woman a whiskey? You don't know if it's the right move, or you try to relax and be more friendly. Do you know of a more effective way to socialize? How's it going, VX? You told her the dream about your grandma. A chill runs through your body. It's been a few weeks since that night. And even though you had a good time with Martha and have no regrets, something about the way that those men in black ask their questions make you uneasy. What do you want to know? Granny in the forest. What? One of the men further back lets out a cracking noise. You look at him, believing he's laughing, but the man in black expression doesn't change. Tell him about your dream. My grandma has been bedridden for over 60 years, but in the dream I saw her running through the woods. Start from the beginning. You don't omit any details. You don't know if it's the way they look at you or because a certain authority in your voice, but you tell them everything about the dream. 5 or 6 weeks ago, you woke up in the middle of the night, certain that something had happened to your grandma. You ran up to her room and Elsie wasn't in bed. The window was wide open. You ran into it and saw someone walking through the trees. It was her, and it was holding a rifle of the kind of your ancestors would have carried in the Civil War. You tried to call her out to her. Your grandma started running and shot or three times in the blackness of this forest. You were about to go down to find her when a winged figure with glowing red eyes appeared in front of the window and screamed. You stumbled backwards, and after hitting your head on the bedpost, you lost consciousness. You woke up in your bed and remembered the dream almost instantly. You went up to the stairs at the time and opened the door to her room. Your grandmother slept peacefully on the bedside. Was the glass of the milk you brought her over every night, and a deck of the cards she used to play solitaire. Oh man, so much talking. So how was everyone's Thursday? Was it grand? Are you still on the road, Ima? I need something to drink. Too much talking. Very grand. During the days that follow, you tried to convince yourself that it had all been a dream. You just finished a large piece of fudge chocolate cake. Well, where's mine? Even though you couldn't explain where the little stitches on the base of your skull had come from. After a few seconds, one of the men in black speaks again. The spots on her leg, what does that say? Predate her birth? Halt. What? What is he talking about? Is he referring to the dozens of moles on your grandma's legs? And what do they mean by saying those spots predate her birth? Elsie was always makes the same joke when you sponge her calves. Be thankful that you have to clean my legs and not my grandfather's. Yes, you take? According to what she told you, her grandma had been shot dead by an experimental weapon early in the Civil War, when his legs were ripped to shreds. Oh my. The women's steam gun, a machine gun that doesn't appear in any book. You think the replica you are putting together in the workshop. You wonder if it was the men in black who had stolen those pieces. Ooh, was it the men in black? You're not telling anyone else about this visit, Holt? You start to complain when one of the men in black picks up a card from the counter. The top card of the deck. Oh, geez. The crunch horrifies you. The teeth of the men in black seem to tear more than simply paper. What the? Oh. Desperate, you throw yourself under the counter and look for the card. Your heart is pounding. You look out the window and you don't see the Cadillac. You walk to where the car was parked a few moments ago. You step on the hose, and the bell rings. What the fuck? Where are you at now? Oh, you're back home. Jack of diamonds. Red. I knew it. You think about the edge of the men in black tore off. and you remember the noise he made when he chewed it. Was it a threat? A warning? I wonder if you should tell your grandma everything that happened or just keep your mouth shut. You went by Dopey in Jordan's house? Did you really go by Dopey's house? And Jordan's? Jordan lives in San Francisco. And Dopey lives in LA. That's far away. So you went to go see the burning big trees, huh? And keep playing solitaire with the marked card. Wow, Jordan, just wow. You were lying the whole time that you live in San Francisco, but you live in the suburbs. Wow. I'm playing Lee now. What's wrong? I told you, it's nothing. That damn pause again. There's something she's not saying. The Mustang purrs. Hey, it's the Mustang, Jordan. You shake your head and feeling sad inside. The sound of an engine hides no secrets. You're right. You bite your lip and sigh. Better bundle up with a coat and why is everything so damn hard? Victoria settles into her seat. Let's start over, okay? Where are we going? Answer the question. It's a surprise. Please. No, Vic. We have some patience. You'll never forget this night. Victoria giggles and you think this is the best gift in the world. Back to working and lurking? For a moment, you forget all the previous discussions, your obsessions. A giggle, a freeing gesture, making someone feel good ain't rocket science. You look at the clock and don't believe your eyes. You left your house on time, and you're pretty late. How could you step on the gas? Lee. You scratch the side of your head. Wow, you really hate being told how to drive. No, he's back home, he said. Lee, why doesn't she tell you to slow down? You take your foot off the gas. Thanks. You're trying your best. You really think Victoria could be the one? The one? Your dad once said the perfect woman doesn't exist. Couples form when people just tired of looking and just give up. Is that true, Jordan? So you saw what the hell is that? So you saw the redwood fires, huh? You remember your mother's rants, all those women's names she ranted off as they were part of an endless grocery list. That sounds like Jordan, and this grocery list. You won't end up like him. Anything but that. You try to smile and force yourself to be more cheerful. You want a clue? Yes. Victoria looks into your eyes and you feel a warmth on your face that takes you by surprise. You felt the same thing the first you saw her in college. You kept looking at her for a few seconds that seemed like forever. What? Do you have do I have a booger? Where? You can't help but laughing out loud and have a hard time containing the urge to kiss her. Give her a clue of what the one word be a source of superstition, but taking we're taking thousands, talking thousands. She's cello? You can't fool me, pal. A source of superstition. A black cat? Victoria looks at you, especially desperate to be right. Cold. It happened 100 years ago. It happened 100 years ago. Victoria answers almost immediately. After all, you're both something in history. The end of the Civil War. No, not in 1865. I mean, exactly 100 years ago, Vic. Oh, let me think then. You're running out of time. There was a something outbreak in 1866, right? Freezing cold. And how twisted do you think I am to set up a date themed around something outbreak from a century ago? Give her a clue about the origin. Likely the only dash cam. I should get a dash cam, but I don't know. I said that last year too. I never got it. It comes from far away. Victoria makes a gesture for you to complete the sentence. You just shrug. It comes from far away. I mean, that could be anything. Guess then. The circus? No, Vic. Just give me a minute. You won't guess it. You won't guess it unless you reach out to open the glove box and Victoria grabs your wrist. Better leave it to me. Victoria opens the glove box and examines its contents. A folder, a box, and a flashlight. What are you looking for exactly? A book? 1966 Shelby Mustang? Oh my god, Jordan. Is it the Shelby Mustang, Jordan? Or is it a Mustang GT? The car handbook. No, not that. What else? Victoria takes out the box and opens it. Let's see what we've got. Has been heading. You think about saying something, but you instantly regret it and keep your mouth shut. Spare change, a lighter, and a pack of cigarettes. Nothing to worry about, I reckon. Keep looking, please. Tell her to look over the folder. Victoria opens the folder and examines the documents. Some papers, insurance details. Do you want me to read some of this? You shake your head. Alrighty, I got everything out. 1 second. There's this too. Victoria stretches out her hand and you finally grab the map you wanted. It was folded against the bottom of the glove box. You start talking and Victoria interrupts you. You wanted to check out the elephant seals? Those things are pretty huge, aren't they? Hold that thought while I put everything back. You put the map on the dashboard while Victoria puts away the folder, the box, and the flashlight. Vic, you know, I like it tidy in there. Ha, very funny. Vic flicks through the book she found. Red Badge of Courage. Haven't you read this book 1,000 times before? Already? You know, she's teasing you. Vic knows exactly why you're carrying it everywhere. The novel that betrays the era where you're obsessed with no other. Like no other. Oh, so much talking. Jordan, take control of this game. What the hell is this? The Red Badge of Courage? That sounds like the South Park episode. Where they're reenacting the Civil War. And they go to all these other towns and start taking over. I don't know. Suddenly you remember you're using the pencil to sketch that Victoria drew of you in one of your classes as a bookmark. A sketch that she begged you, with tears in her eyes, to destroy, and you swore you already had. Vic, I'm sorry. I swear. Watch out! You swore to avoid a shape in the road. Victoria looks back. Lee? You almost ran that thing over. You put your hand on Vic's shoulder, trying to reassure her. Victoria points ahead. Just keep your eyes on the road, please. She's doing it again, telling me how to drive. At least this time she came right out with it instead of just saying Lee disapprovingly. You try to control yourself, but it's hard. It's not just last thing, but the build up of all the small gestures. You take the map and throw it on her lap. Victoria raises her arms in disbelief. The Leonids, Victoria, you're going to have dinner with watching the Leonids. What the hell? I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Victoria says nothing. Forgive me for trying to arrange the perfect date. You try to keep silent and you can't hold it in. A meteor shower. A phenomenon associated with the passage of the Temple Tuttle Comet every 33 years. I wonder if... when does that come by again? Victoria keeps staring ahead. In 1866, there was one of the most spectacular meteor showers ever recorded. I saw some lithographs in the library. Victoria doesn't even move. How's it going to be to you? Everyone makes a wish on a shooting star. Imagine how many wishes you can make with thousands of stars shooting through the sky. Victoria settles in her seat. You know what, Lee? Shut up. Oh my. Look what you did, Jordan. You pissed her off. You never heard of that tone. You've never heard that tone before from her. Just keep quiet until we reach. She pauses as she examines the map you threw on her lap. Halt station? You feel your heart pounding. Your hands are shaking. That's what she wants? For you to keep quiet? For you not to say a goddamn word? Your hands grip the wheel tight, all the preparations you made for tonight. Your friend Freddie had worked out the ideal place to set them in your in all their splendor, away from the city lights. Just some rare achievement in Power Wash Sims. Oh my god. And when you noticed Halt Station was inside the area, you didn't hesitate. And now Vic had ruined it. Oh no, it's a bat. What the hell is that thing? What the fuck? Something hits the Mustang antenna. What the hell is that? Stop, please, stop! Don't stop the car. It's a bat. I don't know. Stop. For some reason, you didn't understand. You speed up. Slow down! Lee, please! Lee! Lee, I'm pregnant. Victorious words make no sense. The Mustang hits the edge of the road, flipping the car over spectacularly. What? Neither of you survive. Oops. Oh, rip. I should have slowed down. Damn. Let's retry. Let's stop the car. Such a happy ending, yeah. You slam on the brakes, and instinctively you put on a hand in front of Victoria to keep her from hitting the windshield. You get out of the car and find a dead bat in front of the headlights. The animal had hit the antenna and somehow got entangled. You can't believe it. What are the odds of something like that happening? Don't bats have some advanced echolocation system like a submarine sonar? What starts as a simple grunt in your throat emerges as a helpless scream. Fuck! This is what I get for trying to do something different. We should have gone to the movies. Lee? Vic's whispering. It doesn't take long to see why. Over there. The coyote is watching you from the dark of the forest meets the light of the moon. Vic, we got this. It's not interesting in us. You point to the dead bat. They're scavengers. You hear a growl that quickly multiplies. Oh shit. Suddenly you're surrounded. It's not the first time you've faced coyotes in the woods, but you aren't taking any chances. Well, that's not right, because coyotes are afraid of you. When I say run to the car as fast as you can, you try to recall all the advice you've heard from situations like these. Makes a loud noise, wave your hands around. One of the coyotes in front of you approaches. Run to the car! Now! Oh, shit. I think I died. The coyote closest to you leaps forward with a savage bite. Oh my god. Encouraged by your screams, the rest of the coyotes soon join the feast. Oh my god. That's something, huh? Yell and gesture. Let's see. Yell at one of the coyotes on the side of the car. Oh, come on. The coyote closest link. Okay. Let's retry this again, huh? Yell at the coyote on the side of the... Oof. Every time I try to do something, I get dusted by some Let's try... Oof. I get dusted by these um yell at the one on the side. Yell at the one on the right. Oh shit. Come on, I die all the time. Okay. Do I die all the time now, or what? Let's see. Oh my god. So now, wait, so it changes every time, doesn't it? Because that one, okay. Yell at the one on this side of the car. Yell at the one to your left. Oh my god. See that one? Don't yell now. Yell at the one of the coyotes on the side of the car. Don't yell right now. Hmm. Oh my god. There's nothing. I can't do nothing. I run in the car and die. Yell at the one of the coyotes on the side of the car. Yell at the one on the... Oh, Jesus Christ. How? There's no, like, way to do this. Yell. I don't think there is a option to do that anything. Don't yell right now. Run to the car. No. I don't think there is a way to get rid of this. Retry. See now, the middle one goes on me, by me. Yell at the one on this side of the car. Yell at the one at the center. Yeah, there we go. Another coyote advances. You look into the watery, bloodshot eyes. Yell and gesture. Yell at the one on the side of the car. Is it the left or the right? There we go. Yell and gesture. Oh boy. Shit! 3 coyotes advance at once, yelling or waving. Your irons won't be enough this time. Bang on the hood. Huh. The trick seems to work and all the coyotes back down. No coyote advances this time. It's your chance to go on offense. Should I throw a stone or run to the car? If I throw a stone, it's gonna get pissed off and attack me. I'll run in the car. No! Oh shit. I should have thrown it. That's funny. Yell and Jester. Seriously? That was the middle one. Oh, it wasn't the middle one. It was the one on the left. On the right, I mean. Yell and Jester to the left. Center. Crap! I thought that was the center, but it was the right. So... Okay. That's the left one. That's the middle one. The middle. Okay. Bang on the hood. Okay. Throw a stone. You crouch down and find 4 stones. You pick them up. Throw one of the Kelly's at this side of the car. Throw it to the left. The stone flies to the left of the Kelly, making one of the closest also retreat. Throw a stone. The coyote retreats in the dark of the forest. Throw a stone on the side of the car. Throw a stone. The coyote retreats and you feel more and more confident. Run to the car, now! Oh my god, I made it this time. I got an achievement. They hunt in packs. You get in the car, those close the doors, and Victoria starts laughing. Although you know that reaction is more adrenaline than anything else, you start laughing too and then kiss her. You start up the car and the V8 roars into life. You resume the trip. After a few wordless moments, you suddenly remember something. Halt, Vic. We're going to the Halt's gas station. Victoria started whistling. Doubts, the fears, everything seems a bit ridiculous now. You think about the plans you made for tonight and smile. You really like to hear her whistle. So that was the story, or what? Now I am Victoria. Lee turns off the radio and looks you in the eye. He smiles, and that smile seriously pisses you off. Smile back. Before you can open your mouth, Lee taps you on the leg. Wait here, Vic. I swear you won't believe it. You bite your lip and take a deep breath. You see him greet someone. Halt. Lee had written the Holt station on the map he'd thrown on her leg 20 minutes ago. He'd written it by hand and might have as well have said Holt station or Holt station or Holt station. Hell Station even. That Lee's handwriting has always been intriguing to you. You remember that time you mentioned it to him and he responded with a this put the anger or whatever. Oh, I don't think I'm even half through the game. A non-sensational rant which involved several philosophical language, and all because you told him his handwriting was dreadful. Less talking, more reading? Sure. But you're but you know where those reactions come from. That night you got too drunk by that lake. Lee told you that his father wouldn't want to be born ugly. After the initial surprise, you couldn't a belly laugh and leave forward down. For a few minutes, he didn't want to tell you anything else. He finally convinced him to continue. I've always got what I wanted just by smiling. Ugly people have to develop other muscles. Oh, wow. Unfortunately, those other muscles are the ones that last. You couldn't believe those words that come out of the mouth of a flesh and blood human being. Maybe some poorly written character from a cheap romantic novel, but Lee's father? You picture Lee that night throwing pebbles from the shore while telling you everything about his father's teachings. All that frustration. Was this the night you got pregnant? You'd both been drinking. Suddenly you find it difficult to breathe. The interior of the car feels like it's getting smaller and smaller. You need some air. Don't say hi. You close the door slowly. You know what Lee is like with his new car. Breathe in the cool night air. Victoria? Vic, is this a halt? Halt, Victoria? Hello? You respond to a greeting, but they didn't seem to care that much. Be right back, Vic. You see them walk away with a box they took out of the trunk, and from the effort Holt putting in, it seems heavy. What's inside the box? You're not stupid. You know that Lee has some business on the side beyond his work as an intern at the university. You heard some rumors and you have your suspicions. However, you never did too much digging. You preferred to keep it a mystery, something to make Lee a little more interesting. You light a cigarette. Would Lee be a good father? And the question that still hasn't had the courage to ask, would he be a good mother? Would you be a good mother? The clicks repeats at regular small moth approach the lights to get electrocuted. Is that love, Victoria? You laugh and shake your head from side to side. You think of all the manuscripts you've torn up. You tried poetry, drawing. History seemed like an obvious choice. You don't need to take any talent to be a historian. Hello? A man talks to himself while holding something in his hand. Have you seen any winged creatures flying over the area yet? For a minute, you thought you'd be asking some kind of tricky question, and you remained silent. However, something about him tells you that he's genuinely asking. You look at the man bathed in the shine of a streetlight, and the scene of fascinates you. Surreal, some of your old friends would have said. The one that organized poetry nights and read the hell does that say? Oh. Excuse me. You are... Oh yeah, sorry. Hill. Lou Hill. Writer. Victoria Greenberry. History student. Winged creatures, Mr. Hill. Lou, please. Can I call you Victoria? You nod. I'm looking to about a dozen reports, Victoria. Numerous witnesses claim to have seen human-sized winged creatures flying over the area. Angels? Lou smiles, but the smile doesn't last long on his face. Look here, at the top of the trees. It won't take long to find one. You aim at the area Lou just told you. Everything blurry, so you decide to adjust the binoculars. Ooh. Go back. You move to the left and notice the chart change in the left eye. Oh. Oh, what the? It was just a second you thought you saw something up there. First sighting? Was it suggestion? I don't think they're angels, Victoria. But before I tell you my theory, I need your help. Could you draw it in this notebook, what you just saw? Yes. Any other time you have refused with some witty comment. But there's something about Lou Hill that invites you to play along. You wonder if the fact that he presents himself as a writer has something to do with it. Draw the head. Draw the body. That's not it. Draw the legs. That's not it either. Before giving it back, you write down notes and further descriptions of what you saw. Lou hadn't asked for them, but somehow they make you feel less anxious. You never felt confident about your work. Yeah, notes. Gotta get the notes. Lou looks at the notebook for a few seconds that felt too long. I got another achievement for that. You think about the time you showed her your sketches to our teacher, and now and how he embarrassed you in front of the rest of the class. Notes, spreadsheets, yeah. Motherfucker. What? Sorry, I was talking to myself. You can't help but blush. Victoria, for once you're glad to hear Lee's voice. All good? Although he seems to be talking to you, but Lee keeps staring at Lou. Lou Hill, writer. Lou holds out his hands. Lee Miller, historian. Lee walks over and puts his arms around you, his back to Lou. You know, he must have been annoyed with Lou introduced himself as a writer. Although it's hard for you to admit it, you like to be hugged. You feel safe. You think you would also feel safe in your grandmother's arms, or in the arms of any of the other strong women in your family, but the heat of Lee's body, the hardness of his muscles, You remember all those biological arguments you hate so much, and you can't help but smile. It's like you're cheating when nobody's looking. Oh man, my voice is just needs in the drink. Come on, Vic. Let's see the surprise. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and let Lee guide you. Now let's open them. So, what do you think? A romantic dinner for two under the same meteor shower that amazed our ancestors. You instinctively put your hands to your belly, and when you realize, you quickly put it in your pocket. You look at the dog tied to the post. Dog growls into the dark. Uh-oh. I'm scared. Whew. Man, this is a lot of talking. How long is this game? Holtz, you've known Lou Hill for a few months now. The first time you talked to him was at the Moose. Lou was looking for that information about some unusual lights in the sky. Nobody would talk to him. Before going to the restroom, you went over to his table and suggested he buys people a drink first. When you got back, Lou was already talking to Rick and Stella. Their tongues suddenly loosened. Lou raised his glass to your direction and smiled. Although it wasn't you who gave him the nickname, you still feel guilty. Since that night, most of the locals refer to him as Lou Refill Hill. That's funny. What do you recall their encounter with those men in black? You smile. What do you mean? What does he mean? Oh man. I think I need a break from this game. I've been talking non-stop for an hour. It had only been a week. You think about how to answer. You know, Lou, he loves asking questions. So you're going to tell him one thing and one thing only, no follow-up questions? The man in black seemed interested in my grandma's legs. Rue raises his eyebrows. One of them told that the spots of his legs predated his birth. And now that I think about it, I think he knew my name too. It's not difficult concerning that big sign outside, right? Maybe. You change the subject. You know, if you're giving him a chance, you could keep asking questions all night. Red or black? What? The card. Red. You turn it over the card. It's red. Good. It's the solitaire my grandma taught me. No one could ever win it. Lou suddenly seems interested. And how do you play it? Do I explain it or not now? Ooh. Rules are simple, but winning. There's a reason why it's called the impossible solitaire. Let me show you. Oh, jeez. The objective is to move every card from the board to the discard pile. You can move any card whose rank is higher or one lower than the topmost card is the discard pile. So let's say there's a 5 in the discard pile. You can either place a 4 or a 6 on top of it. And remember that if there's a K in the discard pile, you can place it on the ace. Ace comes after king, and the opposite is also true. So, 28 cards to move. Seems easy enough, right? Uh, what am I doing? Oh, poop. Crap, what am I doing here? Oh, now I gotta play solitaire now. There we go. uh, I don't know about that. Um, select the card. Oh, damn. Oh, wait, I can get 6. Whoops. A card can be moved into. Move cursor to the right. God damn it. When you're stuck, you can turn over a card from the stuck pile. But to turn it over, you need to make a bet first. Black or red? Which one's gonna be? Lose the bet and you lose the game. Son of a bitch, it's almost unwinnable. Bet red. Select a card. Select the card, let's see. I can't select that one? What the hell? Red. Oh, for fuck's sake. Leave the game. Solitaire bad run. Lose with more than 25 to go. That's funny. Yeah, there's a couple achievements that I'm not gonna do, probably. You hear barking from the dark back of the station. Trent, when they brought him in, they told me his name was Chase. Fuck it. It's Trent for me. You know Trent, right? From the Moose? Tall, prominent belly and scar, proud of the growth of his beard. You laugh. Lou Hill might be a bit of a pain in the ass, but no one could deny that he was good with descriptions. You think about the book he's giving you. You signed it and everything. Where did you leave it? I call him Trent because he barks like Trent in an open mic Tuesdays. Come on, let's go to the garage and see the machine gun. Oh, wow. My voice is gonna be blue. Now I'm playing Victoria again. Oh, jeez. So this is the idea for a special date. Looking at shooting stars while holding your hand. Telling you his plans for the end of the semester. You can't stop thinking about the raw strength of the hug from a moment ago. Or how he scared the coyotes away from yelling and throwing stones at them. You think about your friend May, all those dark fantasies she told you about. But holding hands like this, smell and talking and looking into each other's eyes, feeling like giving up, doesn't it? You know you're going to blame too. Aren't you playing the perfect girlfriend role? Don't you make eyes at him? Don't you say love whenever you call him? So, is this it, Victoria? Is this what you want for the rest of your life? Why do you want? Why don't you make your mind? Why don't you make up your mind just for once? You think of May again, all those women she'd claimed she knew who could solve your situation using a coat hanger. You wouldn't be the first or the last. The dog barks like a maniac, and you appreciate the distraction. A mixture of guilt, anguish, and apathy takes over you. And now what? Why is he looking at you like that? Why doesn't he say anything? Has he asked you a question? I said if you're excited about the doors. Yes. Of course you're excited. Doors, Victoria. Freddie told me they're going to release their first album, and it seems like they're playing in New York. Are you going to see them live again then? Even though you try and gradually stop listening to him, hasn't returns in all those questions, and the fucking dog won't stop barking. What has been a distraction and now driving you crazy? What the hell is wrong with him? Shooting fucking stars. Why don't you make a wish, Victoria? How about going home and covering your head with a pillow and sleeping for 18 hours straight? Huh? You feel like crying and trying to calm down. Oh no. Those eyes. That creature you thought you saw in the treetops with Lou's binoculars. Had it been real? Not just your imagination? Vic! You know what? I'm tired of already. Exhausted. I've been trying and trying for more than 10 minutes. Can you tell me what's wrong with you? You stay silent. You need to think. But Lee's right. It's not fair to either of you. With so much noise, it's impossible for you to concentrate. You know, they're all excuses, though. Weighing the monsters don't exist, just like your brain desperately trying not to focus on what's important. The sudden scream chills your blood, and silence takes over everything. Oh, it's the... Oh my. What just happened? Have you met Lee? Tall guy with the blonde hair. He made xerograph copies of some docs I've used to assemble this beauty. Where did he get the documents from? You bite your lower lip. Do all writers ask so many questions? Lee works at the university in the history department. Lee adjusts his glasses. You don't know why, but the adjuster irritates you. The lens doesn't work like a normal machine gun. Normal machine guns use gunpowder to fire projectiles. Do you know what the lens uses? Central something forces. Oh, my voice is just gonna crack any minute. I should download it? Yeah, maybe. Lou repeats the gesture with the glasses. Today, Lee's brought me some ketchum. What? Ketchum grenades? Do you know what the ketchum grenades? Lou shakes his head and readjusts his glasses for the third time in less than 5 minutes. You take a deep breath. Although you don't understand Lee's refill hills tick, you enjoy talking about your collection of Civil War weapons. Ketchum are very similar to football in shape. They have to land on their nose to explode. They were highly ineffective in Port Hudson, for example. The Confederates used sheets to catch them without exploding, and then threw them back at the Union soldiers. Lou is about to say something when you hear a scream that makes your blood run cold. You grab the shotgun without thinking twice. It's coming from the back. Come on. You don't have a good feeling about it. Something's not right. Uh-oh. Trent, no! Oh, Jesus. Although it feels like a dream, somehow you know. The creature is real. Your dog's suffering is real. And there be no waking up from this. Shoot the creature. You aim your gun. Shit! But you don't have a clean shot. Run to Trent. You hear the muffled moans of your dog. Don't mind him just hanging out. Oh my god. And the furry blinds you. You drop the shotgun and grab into the chain. Son of a bitch is going to strangle Trent. Pull the chain. You pull you pull with all your strength. For a moment, you think you've getting somewhere, but you feel the pull, and the floor disappeared under your feet. Pull the chain. Oh, he's dead. Although you manage to hold on for a few minutes, you finally let go and fall into the thick of the forest. Tree branches penetrate your body and you die before reaching your ground. Whoops. Halt! You know you should hit the floor soon. Don't move. Listen to Vic, Halt. Her sister's a nurse. No bones seem to be broken. My dog. Victoria and Lee helped you to your feet. Lee doesn't take his eyes off the winged creature for a single second. He let it go. Just let go. What? 1 second. I know I know where your dog is. Halt. What? Wait a minute. Got something in your car? Let's go. A gift from Freddy. Cool, right? You try to get up and you feel dizzy and stumble. Victoria gives Lee a disapproving look and helps you keep your balance. Follow me. Thanks. You would have liked the smile at her. After all, Victoria just wants to help. But I can't do it by myself. You get your rifle and walk through the rest into the blackness of the forest. We should go in. At the direction. No! I think we should go that way. Lee? Now what? The place where Trent fell. I've calculated it by projecting the point where the creature dropping it on this map. You've calculated? You calculated, you say? Weren't you a writer? Lee, don't mind him. Do what you want. Constantly checking the map leads the group on. We should be close. There! Your heart is pounding. Please, compress his chest. Use both hands just like that. How curious. Did you know that the... What the hell does that say? Did you know that the card... So that's a really big word I can't pronounce. Procedure was discovered by Dr. Knickerbocker while he was trying to save a dog. As he speaks, Lou carefully examines the top of the trees. It was at Johns Hopkins University. Victoria rests his hand on yours and moves his head from side to side. You stop pressing, and a few tears roll down your cheek. The interesting thing was what happened to the dog afterwards. Tell him to shut up. Shut it, Lou. Lou adjusts his glasses. You look at Victoria. Are you too afraid your voice would break to say thank you? Why didn't you shoot? Why didn't you try to blow the creature's brains out? Deep down, you know that's just the guilt talking. And that's maybe there was something you could have done differently to save him. Lee, have you seen Lee? You stand up and look around. Lee's gone! Oh, jeez. Oh man, how many chapters are there? You walk faster to keep your thoughts at bay. What the hell is wrong with her? Why does she even listen to him? Ryder says the fucker. What a loser. You walk through the woods, confident that he will be the one to find Holt's dog. What then, Vic? What's weird little face will you make? Oh, it's the Men in Black. Hello? You feel like someone's watching you. You're walking through a dense forest area where the darkness is almost total. You walk even faster than before. Finally, you reach a clearing and look at the sky. The meteor shower is gaining instantly. Your heart is in anguish and you find it hard to breathe. Are you watching this Linux, Victoria? Are you? You hold your head in your hands. Let's cry. The last time you cried like this, you were 16. Macho cry. Cry your heart out. You come home already and found that from hitting your mother. You tried to separate them, and your father took it out of on your ribs. His blows were like a rain of sledgehammers, and his breath reeked of alcohol. He pushed you against the wall, and you ended up on the floor. Your mom was clutching her head from your dad, took a brief breath and kicked you in the stomach. Won't hit you in the face because it's the only thing you got going for you. And one day he won't have it anymore. You carry your father's photo in your wallet not to remember how good he looked. Hell no. Whenever the faint was too much, you scratch his entire face until his features blended with his cuts and paper. Oh man, what the? You seem to hear something, kind of a rumor. You think of a noise hands make when they shake the dust off no volume. A river? You try to think of the map you've got in the car. You can't remember seeing a river here. Further west, sure, but here? As you get closer, you hear it more clearly. You feel kind of calm. No, not peace, but numbness. Suddenly, the whitest light you ever seen floods the ground. Even when there's no river nearby, the sound is deafening. What? You feel the light pulse with painful instantly. If millions and millions of red ants are sticking their little jaws into your skin. Pain turns into light. You want to scream, but you can't. You don't have no mouth, nor larynx or lungs. And the white that precedes everything consumes you. You don't know how long it takes. You feel the urgency of what is yet to be, and the white makes you desperate. Huh. You feel the white leaving your body. and you hear your own voice screaming at the top of your lungs. Hmm. You drop to the floor and cover your head with both your hands. You're filled with a sense of completeness that you cannot explain. We all need a little darkness. Interesting. This is an interesting story. Lee? Where is that idiot? Calm down, Victoria. Lee knows how to take care of himself. Holt's right. Lee's going to show up eventually. Did you know that he chased away a pack of coyotes with screams and some sounds and a blow on the hood of the car? You wondered if the authentic of the calculated gesture it showed some empathy. Holt? What? What's your business with Lee? Holt looks at you for a few seconds before answering. You think of the computers of the campus, the IBM 7040. You know what's it's called being. Oh, I can't even talk anymore. You know what it's called because you wrote a poem with the title. Holt is like that computer. Oh my god. From the outside, it's impossible to tell you it's validating before giving an answer. I shouldn't tell you anything. Holtz lowers his voice, but you shut Lou up back there, and I'm going to make an exception. Hey, no secrets. Holt tells you about the Lou's business and sale of original Civil War pieces, lexicograph copies, and historical documents. Don't worry, he knows what he's doing. You hear twigs snapping. Who's there? Grandma? Huh. The sight of Holt's grandmother hold an old rifle memorizes you. The whole thing that looks like an image from the same painting. A wet dream for almost any of your classmates. An image that only defies gender stereotypes, but also demolishes social constructs that look of grandma, in classic stories. The expression on Holt's grandmother's face changes. Her features soften. My legs, Grandma. Holt picks up his grandma and helps her sit against the tree trunk. He looks at his dog's corpse and beckons you to come closer. Oh my god, I need to bury Trent before carrying on. You nod your head. How do you feel, ma'am? Confused. Where? Here, Victoria. You didn't hear him approach. You grab the handkerchief without thinking twice. A strange feeling runs through your body. Shouldn't you have at least considered some other option? Clean up her legs. You rub the handkerchief against her calves and gradually moves the mud stains. Scrub harder. I was probably your age when I stopped feeling my legs. Holt's grandmother sighs and closes her eyes. Have you ever seen so many moles together? Lou speaks almost in whispers. You wonder why. Let's go. Lou picks up the old rifle and examines it briefly. Holt looks at you in an expression you can't quite make up. Are you okay? No, we're not okay. But what are you gonna tell him? That you're pregnant? That your boyfriend's missing? That winged creature out of the old creatures out of the old pulp magazines are apparently more than just fiction. You walk for a while in silence. What was... Trying to think of something else, Victoria. A few seconds ago, you all started hearing the screams, noticing sudden movements in the treetops. We're almost there. You find it hard to believe that what you're seeing. What are those creatures flying over the gas station? Interesting. Holt punches Lou in the shoulder. Huh? Interesting. Did you find it interesting what they did to Trent? We're not in one of your cheap books, Lou. A sudden silence before the group. Listen. No, just cover me. You close your eyes tightly, trying to exercise that pouch your feel. Oh, my voice is gonna frickin'. What is that hard? Was it hard? I can't even talk anymore. Was it that hard for him to hear what you had to say? You shake your head from the side to side. What's even the plan? Running with your grandma in his arms. Why does he have to be the hero? I've been playing this for an hour and 31 minutes. Halt! The shriek chills your blood. Fuck! Lou looks at you and as if he's waiting for something. How many bullets in your rifle? 3. I have no clue, Jordan. Hope it's enough. Holt and Elsie are halfway to the gas station. 2 winged creatures on the street lamps. The light, Victoria. Those creatures seek the light. Aim for the lamp on the street on the left. Shoot! Haha! You have 2 bullets left. Tell to take aim. Shoot. The winged creature flies to the farthest pole, and does not, and it does so over. Desperate, you run to help. Oh boy, I died. The winged creature rushed at you. And the pain blurs your vision, and you lose consciousness. All right. I'll shoot that one. Oh shit, too far away. Oh boy. I'm probably gonna die again. Run to Elsie and Holt. Oh, there we go. Ah, damn it. Run. Can't do that. Shoot. I have 1 bullet left. What do I do here? Damn it! Okay, I gotta shoot. Aim for the closest one on the left. Damn it. I did it wrong. God damn it. Um. Okay, I can't do that. I'll shoot that. Till take aim. I'll go on the left. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I can't shoot that. Okay. Wow. Let's see. The center one. Um. I got one bullet left. I got one bullet left. How am I supposed to frickin' do that? If I do the one on the bottom. Let's see. Aim for the right. Okay, the two creatures fight, take flight, and get lost in the night. Run. All clear. Oh my god, I finally did it. Help me with Holt and Elsie, and let's get inside fast. Alright, I gotta be right back. Man, I did not realize how long of game this is. Wow, you got me muted. Wow, Jordan, just wow. Um, this game's the storyline is pretty good, I guess. Is someone going to make it a wish? You laugh under your breath. You look at all, and he looks away. You wonder if he's pissed because he saved him. You still can't believe everything that happened tonight. You know that as soon as you stop to think, you touch your belly and fight back to the tears. Lou looks at his watch. The aliens are reaching their point of the highest intensity. The screeching is deafening. Freaking creatures. I think I saw one in my dream. Lou is about to add something about something, but suddenly falls silent. You approach the window and rest of your hand on the glass. You can't stop looking at their dance. Before meeting Lee, you had some experiences in college. Experiences by which you had sought to open the door of your... Lee doesn't know, but you don't know how he would react if he found out. But the strange dancing of these creatures in the sky beats anything you experience while tripping. Huh? It's funny. Oh my god, how many... Jesus Christ. They call him the... something of the hills. What he did lacked a ritual component. It had nothing to do with the taxidermy business with less than, The shrunken animal heads were art, sold as collector's pieces. One afternoon, Liam his only nephew stole a deer head. The head has been emptied of viscera and was floating in the solution of his uncle used in early stages of the memorizing process. Oh my god, I can't talk anymore. Liam lifted the head out of the bucket and wiped it dry and put it on like a helmet. He stripped naked, left the house, and ran into the village. Liam entered the church in the middle of a mass, screaming at the top of his lungs, waving his arms up and down as if he were clawing. One of the Congress members pulled out a gun and shot him. You remember the sheer terror you felt when you saw the bear man running towards the altar. This is worse. Ugh. Worse? Worse than what? You tell him the story about Liam and Uncle. Somehow you feel safe telling them stories from the past, as if it was the other side of the window. This fear cannot be any more present. Some clippings from the case. Liam's story was an unfortunate event. It explains what happened to him, and it also provided an all too easy explanation of other settings in the area. Dogman, the owl woman. Many people told me stories about similar creatures in the moose. Lou adjusts his glasses. Lou refill hill. You think I don't know what they call me in town? It may be true, but that some people make up stuff to get a beer. But imaginations have limits, and in the long run, we tend to rely on real expressions when telling a story. Mothmen. They're somehow related to the Leonards and the gathering of all these creatures. Holy crap! I did not realize this game is freaking long. My voice is just. I can't believe I'm reading almost. Been talking for almost 2 hours. Maybe he's right, and all the creatures outside started to appear after the aerial dance of these Mothmen. Grandma? Better? What are those shrieks, love? It's painful for you to see how confused she is. 1 second. You turn on the radio. Static. No matter which way you turn the dial, all you hear is static. You never sung at the moose. Not even all those nights when everyone egged you on and begged booze in your system had drowned your ambitions. Somewhere without realizing it, you start singing the lullaby Elsie used to sing to make you sleep. Although more than 40 years have passed, the words come to your head one after another. You close your eyes and caress her hair, singing all the time. As soon as you feel the rim breathing of your grandmother, you get up. What was that? Lee? Materia tries to hug Lee while he babbles something you don't understand. At one time, he looks up. Where the hell have you been? Materia. I thought, but he's here. Give him some space. Thank you. Let's take a few seconds to start speaking. I think I got lost in the forest. Babe, take it easy. Materia grabs his arms and Lee tries to smile. I thought I heard the sound of a river. I felt someone looking at me. After walking for a while, the noises were deafening. But there was no river. Lee started to cry. Victoria tries to calm him down. As soon as he regains his composure, Lee keeps talking. And then came the white. I don't know how to explain it. It was as if it was some everything and nothing at the same time. And a goat looked up at the sky and watched the shooting stars. It stood on two legs like this, just like us. What the hell is going on? I think the time has come. Let me tell you a few things. Lee clears his throat and begins to speak. Although you can't stand his tics on his false dramatics, you want to know what's going on. The noirs occur every 33 years. Some are intense, like those of 1833 or the ones in 1866. Others are weak, 1899 for example. And those are the ones we have records of. You notice that Victoria grabs Lee's hand. Lee walks over to the window and points to the sky. This year's they're really intense again. 1866, 1966. Why a 100-year difference and not 99? That 1 year brothers to me. And I think it has to do with the problems of our calendar and the periodic adjustments that we forced to make. Holy crap! My voice is just. Ugh. Tell me, have you ever seen a medieval manuscript? No one answers. Just as they're about to open their mouth, Lou continues. They're usually adorned with warrior rabbits standing on two legs. Do you think those rabbits came from the imagination of medieval script alone? Those rabbits existed, and they were annihilated by men. Each meteor shower spawns new depots. And it was one of those storms that mankind arose. What makes us different from all those that we survived by destroying any of those the planets that came along, or by reducing them to the realm of gossip of fiction or fiction. Outside, the creatures began to fight. Why? What motivates them? And what about Lou? Should you believe everything he says? After all, Lou is a raider. Your grandmother coughs sounds like a noise of the tractor's engines refusing to start. Grandma? You have to kill them all. The voice with which speaks to seem to come from a further back than her throat. We had a secret weapon, and we would use it to finish up off the upright beasts. But they decided to test it in the war. Elsie? What are you talking about? I wanted to take the winnings from the battlefield, and your grandma, carrying her legs. I just want to finish the mission. Victoria and Lee look at each other. Lou walks up to you and tells you almost in a whisper, I bet the moles on her grandma's legs correspond exactly to her grandma's wounds. Lou speaks softly, but his words resonate loudly in your head. The moles on her grandma's legs, her grandfather's legs riddled by bullets, is in the Civil War? Could it be that Elsie's grandfather was talking to you through your grandma's mother's body? What the hell was that sound out my window? I project that I project that is obsessed for you for a long time, and now you think you know why? You decide not to think too much about Elsie, her grandfather, the moles, the men in black. You're terrified that behind behind all your decisions, something more than your own free will was at work. Come on, the wingman's quick. Let's get her out. No, it's still not working. What do you mean it isn't not working? It has some kind of safety mechanism, and I still haven't been able to assemble it successfully. Here, see? The L's? You look at Lou with curiosity. On the blueprints there. Those L's are the rubric of the secret society founded in the middle of the last century. It's not so secret if you know what it is it? Lou doesn't answer you. But why the L's? Some say it's because the way the knight moves on the chessboard. Others say it's because of Lewis Carroll, the author of Alice in the Wonderland. Oh my god, I need a friggin' break from this game. Exactly. Lou closes his eyes, holds a hand to the bridge of his nose, and clears his throat. Can this guy be any more effective? A stick I found that weighed 2 pounds. I sawed it up one day in pieces of equal weight. How much did each piece weigh? Everybody's saying 1/4 pound, which is wrong. A riddle at this moment. Victoria strokes her chin and then nods her head slightly as if he's counting something. Do you think it's time for a riddle, Lou? Lou raises his hand and moves aside. You take a deep breath. It shouldn't be that hard to find that right configuration. You know, the situation has everyone on edge. You're no exception. Um, what was that about the order, Lou? He smells something and listen to. The poem I read. Oh my god, I can't talk to anymore. You have to take two accounts and wait and lose about the Lou snorts and Victoria bites her lip. The answer may not convince you, but the other is around. The answer highlight the difference between. Okay, puzzle strain. Listen about the elves. There's screaming outside. You look at your grandmother, or rather your grandfather's possession of her body. You wonder if you should accept Lou's help or keep trying it yourself. Either way, you're grateful that Lou has stopped talking. You move to the side and leave Lou in the front of the safety mechanism. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Although outside the creature's shouts are getting louder, you can't help but feel a certain happiness. The win is finally complete. Now everyone out. Elsie stands next to the wings holding a rifle. Lou and Victoria stand back a little. You crack your head knuckles and take a deep breath. At the helm of the steam-powered machine gun, you feel something strange. You find it hard to put it into words, as if it was somehow the present as giving away to the past. Rabbit men. They are weak creatures. Cannon, folder, and the war against the upright beasts. Aim to the left. Shoot. Aim to the center. Shoot. Dusted him. Oh boy. Shoot. Uh-oh. Aim to the right. Eat this bullet. I'm here to cover you, but don't get too confident. I can kill the one upright beast, and then I need to reload. Shoot. Oh my. Beware of the dogmen. There, behind the rabbitmen. Dogmen are more resistant than the rabbitmen. And if you hurt them without hurting them, they get mad. Shoot. Uh-oh. Die. Oh, jeez. Hey, where are you going? Aim to the right. Oh, crap. Die. Oh, rip, I died. How's it going, lady? Alright, I gotta retry this again. Aim to the left. Um... Aim to the left. Oh wait, that's the right. Oh my god. The two men and the woman. Gone. Deserters. Say and all those creatures over there. Mothmen. If you manage to wound them without killing them, they go crazy and run like a stampede. You can take advantage of them to generate a chain effect. Oh boy. Shoot. Uh-oh. Oh, that was easy. Oh crap. Hmm. Aim to the right. Oh, jeez. Owlmen. Resist like dogmen or moosemen. But if you hurt them without killing them, they fly to the front. So be careful. Oh, crap. Shoot. Oh, crap. Oh, I died. Alright. Let's try that again. You shake your head from side to side to each other. You know that Lou was the first to leave, and the helplessness eats you inside. Go look for them. But if you're going to a fight here, we're fighting all together. Lee. Oh my god. I need to stop. My voice is hurting right now. I've been talking for 2 hours. I need to I'm gonna play this game later. I need to stop. I'm gonna play some other game, like Sky Castle. Save. Okay, I saved it. So I saved it. So now I'm gonna play this later because I can't talk anymore. My voice is starting to hurt. So I'm gonna play Ari Sky Castle. I'll be right back. It's a fun game. Good storytelling. So I will be right back. I'm gonna play Ari. Be right back.